Very interesting, Lauren. Thank you very much. Now this, a New York Times opinion column is sounding off on woke liberals, saying that they are destroying the Democrats' chances in the midterms. The article quotes a non-profit official who says, quote, "It has become too easy for people to conflate disagreements about issues with matters of identity." Vivek Ramaswamy joins me now. Vivek, good morning to you. This column suggests that Democrats could be too far left. We've been saying this for a while for some voters. So the question being is, for those voters who think they've gone too far left, do they vote Republican?
Look, I think that actually one of the most interesting things about that story is that it's about the orientation of the mission of any organization, right? Whether you're a nonprofit organization, whether you're a political organization, whether you're a company, if you're not focused on your core mission and instead bickering about the language you use or the language you're supposed to use in adjudicating debates, you don't actually accomplish that mission. So while this was the interesting part to me is, while this happened to be an article about the Democratic Party as an organization that wasn't effectively accomplishing its own goals, that is actually a principle that applies across the private sector to any organization. And I think that that's a wake-up call regardless of whether you're on the left or on the right. Whether that has a political consequence for the Republicans, you know, the obvious conventional wisdom would say this year it does. But I think the more interesting consequences are deeper than that.
Yeah, but how do those policies, you know, play out in the so-called flyover states, middle America? I just don't think they are connected to what these ultra-left policies really talk about. I think it leaves a lot of Americans behind.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Look, I think that there's 100+ million Americans in this country right now that are badly disaffected from elite institutions broadly. That includes political institutions and political leaders, but it also includes the private sector. And I think that one of the things that politicians have missed over the last couple of years, especially at one end of the political spectrum, but I think a lot of companies have missed as well, is that those 100 million Americans are some of the best customers for any business, or some of the most active and politically engaged voters. And I think what we're going to see actually is a turn of the tide to recognizing that, I mean, look, I'm here in Central Ohio. I used to live in New York City years ago. I've lived in Central Ohio, in Ohio for a long time now. I think that the real idea here is the everyday citizen across the country, and what you call flyover, I think is actually going to be moving the winds in a different cultural direction.
I wanted to get this in if we could, Vivek. You're launching a new campaign that calls out asset management firms. You say they're using money from retirement plans to lobby against the political beliefs, essentially, of hardworking Americans. Watch this. I'll get your thoughts.
Americans from coast to coast waking up to more bad news, a new record high when it comes to the price of gas.
Yeah, it's interesting. Vivek, tell me about the campaign. What are you trying to achieve?
Education is the #1 goal. As you can see, there's an image of a man pushing a black rock up the hill. That's a clear reference to BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, who's managing the money of those everyday citizens, of those 100 million people we were just talking about, Ashley, who are using the money of everyday citizens to tell corporate America to advance political agendas, one-sided political agendas, that most of those everyday Americans actually disagree with. I think that's a fiduciary breach, but as it relates to the energy sector, that's actually what's causing higher gas prices at the pump. When large asset managers tell U.S. energy companies to cut production and reduce drilling for gas and harvesting natural gas, that contributes to higher energy costs. And so this July 4th, that's why Strive and I, the company I founded, and I are launching this new educational campaign to show everyday Americans how their own investment accounts are actually contributing to America's energy crisis, how they're left holding the bag. And I think that's the first step towards empowerment and solutions.
Well, we wish you the very best with that campaign. And Vivek, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it.